start off this video by saying that this is for purely educational reasons. Whenever I try to talk about the nahkba that happened in Palestine, where over 750,000 Palestinians were either displaced, unalived, or ethnically cleansed, I will always have people in my comments being like, oh, it didn't happen that way. It wasn't that bad. You know, they went, willingly. And most of the times it's either Zionists or Israelis. But hey, since you don't want to believe me, maybe you're actually going to believe the soldiers that committed these acts, that were part of the Nakba. The following clip I'm going to show you is part of a documentary about Tantura, one of the cities that fell victim to the Nakba.
הרגת, אז עשית דבר טוב. הייתי מוכן להרוג. לא דיברתי עם אף אחד על זה. אשתך להגיד שחיית איתה הרבה מאוד שנים, אני מניח. לא דיברת? אף פעם לא סיפרתי לה. מה, אני אספר לה שאני הייתי רוצח? שאתה הגדרת, אתה תהרג את כולם. אני ככה, הפקידים של שימה, ויאללה, רפו אותם כמו פרות, עליהם, בזמן קרב, אם מישהו ירים ידיים, משהו כזה, לא לקחתי שבויים. כמה אתה חושב אנשים הרגת ככה? לא ספרתי. אני לא יכול לדעת בחיי. הוא תפס אישה, חתיכה צעירה, נכנס לבית אחד, הכין חר מיטות, מיטה, פרצה לזיין אותה. הילדה חזרה, סמרטוטיה. אחד אנס שם איזה ילדה בת 16, משהו כזה. אתה מבין? אבל זה מכוער מאוד. היה לנו בחור אחד, הוא נפטר, הוא היה פרא אדם. הוא לקח פשוט מאוד ורצח אותם בתוך המכלאות. חוטי ברזל כאלה, עגולים כאלה, אספו כל הגברים. הם יושבים שם כולם על הרצפה, ובא מישהו ולוקח תת מקלע ומתחיל זה, מחליף מחסנית. מה אתה חושב? זה חבר'ה שלקחו את הלוויורים ורדפו אחרי חבר'ה ושרפו אותם. זה היה משהו זוועתי, וזה אסור לספר, אני לא אדבר על זה. מלחמה זה מלחמה. לא כל אחד יכול לדעת מה זה מלחמה. ואני אומר, מי שלא היה שם, לא יכול לשפוט אף אחד אחר.
If you're interested in more, I would highly recommend watching the entire documentary. But here you have it out of their own mouths, their actions. And the thing is, these men are not talking about these actions as if they're regretting them. As you could see, some of them were laughing. They're looking back at it gleefully. The Nakba happened in 1948. These men are some of the first settlers. I will never in my life understand going through something so horrific in Europe and Germany at that time, and then going to another place and doing something similar to other people. Back then there was no Hamas to fight, so what's your excuse now? Who was the enemy? The innocent Palestinians that they unalived, that they displaced, that they essayed? None of these men ever had to face any type of consequences for their actions. None of them. They're all living freely. Some of them are even celebrated as heroes and veterans. Men like Ezra Yachin, for example, are still sent out to other soldiers to give them morale. And in his speech, for example, he's telling them to unalive every single Arab they see, their neighbors included, no matter if that Arab is just an innocent civilian or Hamas. If you see them, unalive them. That's basically what he is telling those soldiers. And it's not like this is a secret. Western nations knew that this was going on. They didn't care. They still don't care. They're still funding it. They're supporting it. And they're allowing it to happen. The UN is allowing it to happen. Every single nation standing in solidarity with the Israeli government is allowing this to happen. I have so many Israelis in my comments telling me, you don't know history. You're uneducated. This is your history, babes. This is what the people in your country did back then to get the land that they live on now. The issue isn't that I or anybody else does not know history. The issue is that you know history and you don't care about it, because in your eyes, doing what you are doing to Palestinians is okay because you dehumanize them. You don't see them as humans. You don't see them as animals. You see them as nothing, and hurting nothing and unaliving nothing means nothing. So it's okay for you. And the way you know that these men are comfortable with their actions is that they are on camera. They're showing their faces. Their names are revealed because they don't think that what they did is bad, so they don't fear repercussion. And also, why should they? They haven't had to suffer through any type of repercussion, even after this documentary came out. These are the actions you're supporting. And I mean, I don't have to tell you. You already know. I'm making this video for the people who might not be as educated, who might still have some type of humanity in them, who might not see brown, Muslim, or Palestinian life as worthless. It is very frustrating that you will never see this type of footage, posted by Western media. You will only see activists and people online talking about it, because, that wouldn't fit in the agenda. While it is frustrating, it will never ever stop us from talking about what actually happened back then and what is still happening right now. A country built on a history like this will never be a fair or just country, especially since they're keeping up those morals and never talking about said history. They're already invading the West Bank while everybody's focused on Gaza. They're starting. If we don't speak about this, there will be something along the lines of a second Nakba. And who knows how many Palestinians will be left in their homeland afterwards. I have to end this video the way that I started it so it can stay up. This is for purely educational purposes.